Hi everyone, this is Ashley Jones. In this tutorial I'm going to use Dime's Perfect Embroidery Pro to convert artwork text from my TrueType font list to an Applique font. So let's get started. I'm going to start by selecting my text tool in Perfect Embroidery Pro and click one time on the workspace and it adds one letter. So I'm going to go ahead and type my text here. I'm just using the word joy and click apply. Now instead of using the built-in text from this drop-down list here, I'm going to check the TT, which is TrueType font, and instead of satin from the drop-down list, I'm going to choose artwork and click apply. So now I have artwork text here. I'm going to choose from this drop-down list a different font. So I'm just going to use Arial Black. It's nice and bold, so it's good for an applique text. Now on my transform tab, I'm just going to change my size. So for the width, I'm going to say 5 inches and click apply. Now it resized proportionally because I have the maintain aspect ratio checked. So now that I have my text, I want to make a copy of it and turn one copy into embroidery and leave the other one as the artwork. So I'm going to click my select tool to do that, and we're going to copy and paste this joy. And I can move that out of the way because it does copy right on top of the other. And I'm going to double click my zoom tool here to just bring everything onto the screen. So now I've got two artwork text. Over here in my properties, you can see that it says text and it says 0. That means that it's artwork. There are no stitches. So one of these we're going to convert to embroidery and the other we're going to leave as artwork. So let's go down to our effects panel here in the bottom right, the star. And with one of those selected, just click on the applique option. So now I have converted that to an applique font. So let's watch the slow redraw. This is going to show how it's going to stitch out. We're going to get a placement and a tack down and a finishing stitch for each letter. If you want all of the placement stitches to stitch at one time and then all the tack down and then all of the finishing stitches, then we're going to select our design again. So I'm going to choose my select tool and then click and drag a box around all 3 letters and click the combine tool. Now I'm going to go up and watch my slow redraw again, make sure that it did what I wanted it to. So I've got my text JOY. It's going to do all of the placement and then all of the tack down and then all of those finishing stitches, so I can lay down one large piece of fabric. So now let's talk about saving these. So the reason I made a copy of this artwork file is because I might want to save this artwork file as a cut file and cut out my fabric on my digital cutter. And you can see, because I used the exact same artwork that I created the applique letters here, it is the exact size that I need for my cut file. So the satin stitch is going to cover the edge nicely when I get my pieces cut. Okay, so we need to do 2 different saves to make this happen. So first, when you save to an SVG file, this does need to be artwork. So I'm going to go over to my sequence view down here in the bottom right, and you can see that it says text, and we need it to be artwork. So we're going to do a right mouse click and say break up text. Okay, so now we've got the JOY, that's an applique, and then the J and the O and the Y separately that are just artwork. You can see that it says artwork here in the sequence view. Okay, so now first let's select our JOY and save this to our machine format. So File, Save As, and we need to pick a location. I'm just going to do my C-Dime Designs folder, give it a name, and choose my machine file format from this drop-down list here. My format that I need is PES, and I want to make sure to check the selection only. That's going to save just what I have selected on the screen. In this case, it's my Joy applique. I'm going to click Save. And now I'm going to select the JOY artwork, and we're going to export that artwork for our digital cutter. So I'm going to choose File, Export Artwork, and it's going to ask where we want to save it. So I'm going to go to my same folder, and I'm going to call this JOY again, but for this one I'm saving as an SVG file. If you have a digital cutter that reads another format, you can choose a different format. My digital cutter reads an SVG, so that's what I'm going to save this as, and click Save. Okay, so now when we go to that folder, that was under my C Dime Designs folder, which is this folder here. So I'm going to do a right mouse click and choose Show Content so we can see what we saved. And you can see that I've got here a PES file. That is my machine file format. If I do extra large, I can see those. So that's my machine file that I'm going to take to my embroidery machine to embroider my applique. And this JOY SVG is the file that I'm going to take to my digital cutter. Now I can move these over to my USB, take one to my machine, take the other to my digital cutter to complete my applique for this video. So hope this helps with creating applique from TrueType fonts and exporting an artwork file for a digital cutter.